Thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. I'm your host, Zach Randles-Friedman. It is the new year, and I am in my New Year's resolution, still doing it. And one of my New Year's resolution is to lose about 10, maybe 15 pounds. I don't want to get too anorexic looking, just maybe a little bit, but not too much. But by the time you're listening to this episode, we're about 2 to 3 weeks into the new year, and I am going to do it this year. I'll lose the weight for sure, but one of my New Year's resolutions was to actually tone up a little bit. So, you can lose so much weight and look skinny, but like my arms are like you can't see because I'm wearing a sweater if you're watching this on video, but my arms are like a 12-year-old boy's. Like my arms are so skinny. And I have little tiny wrists too. So Andrew says I have little girl wrist. And that's okay because that's just who I am. But my main goal is I want to just kind of have a flat stomach. I'm not looking for a six-pack, but I want it to be real flat. That's my goal. And I'm going to do it this year because every year I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I don't know. I'm never really good at my New Year's resolutions, but this time I'm going to do it. And as I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, I come across this guy. I think the headline was, "Are you a gay guy looking to get in shape?" Yeah, that's me. And so I stopped and looked at his post or turned up the volume to listen to it. Then I went to his page. Like, all right, well, let me follow him. Maybe in the new year, I'll reach out to him. And, it's all about accountability is what it is. Whenever I would go to the gym, whenever I had a trainer, I would go because I had an appointment and I didn't want to waste the $150 an hour for the trainer. So I would always make sure I went. But whenever I didn't have a trainer, I'd always put off the gym because I really hate the gym. And then when I got a Peloton at home, and that worked good for about a month. And then I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't working. And I just got bored of it and sold it. But this guy was a good salesman because after I followed him, about an hour or two later, I checked my inbox and he DM'd me. And he goes, "Hey, you looking to become healthy or whatever he said, you looking to lose weight or looking to tone up or whatever?" And so I went to his profile, and first of all, I'll say he's really a good-looking guy. But what intrigued me about him was that he had a post that basically said the title of the post, like in the text of the post, was about sexuality, like who cares what your sexuality is or something. And he was talking about people ask him all the time, "Are you gay? Are you straight?" All this stuff. And he didn't say what he was. He's like, "It doesn't matter who I go home and sleep with." And I kind of love that. I loved his whole attitude about it. Even though secretly I was hoping he was gay. Not that I'm married, so not in a monogamous relationship. Not that it would mean anything for me, but I don't know. I just wanted him to be gay. And I had him on my show because he has an interesting approach. And I liked his whole vibe about it doesn't matter who you sleep with or go home with. And then he had another post that he did a few months ago or a few weeks prior that I found. It was about, are you on Grindr or do you go to the beach and do you feel self-conscious about your body and all this? And let me help you. And I loved his kind of real down to earth, let me help you. And this is the facts that gay guys are super critical about how other gay guys look. And he moved to Chicago when he was 18. I won't tell you too much more about the episode because I want you to listen to it. But he moved to Chicago when he was 18 and met a gay guy at the gym and started working. He lived in Boys Town. I started working in Boys Town. I guess he did it for 10 years. And, whether he's gay or straight, you could maybe listen to the episode and find out because he may actually tell you in there and he may not, but you got to listen to the episode to find out. But then I asked him to send me some pictures for promo for this podcast episode. And he sends me pictures of him in a Speedo. I'm like, oh my God, this podcast episode is going to blow up because he's really a good looking guy. And every time I have a cute guy on my show and I post pictures of them as a teaser, the episode blows up. So gay men love a cute guy. And this episode is going to do well because Luke is a cute guy, but he's also interesting and he has some good advice. And so listen to the episode and enjoy my episode with Luke. Thanks for listening. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. Today, I'm so happy to have a guest. Are you in Chicago?
Usually in Chicago, but I've been kind of avoiding it since, if you haven't seen, it's gotten the most snow in the past 6 years or something. So I'm trying to stay away from there for now.
All right. So welcome, Luke Holbrook. I found him on Instagram. I found him because he's a good looking guy. And what drew my attention was a couple of videos that he had. And the videos that he had was about losing 20 pounds if you're a gay man. And that's me. I need to lose the 20 pounds. So I clicked on his profile, kind of checked out some of his videos. And then I had discovered all these other videos that I want to talk about with him. But I want to first get to know who you are. So where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I actually grew up in a small town in the Midwest called Winnebago, Illinois. It's kind of by the Rockford area.
Okay.
But then I actually moved to Chicago when I was 18.
Cool. And what made you want to go to Chicago? You just weren't a small town kid?
I wasn't. My parents immigrated from England, so I was never really in that small town vibe. I just wanted more culture to explore more adventure in my life. And then school, gone to college at UIC there. So that brought me there. And I was pretty excited to go.
Awesome. And so I moved from Miami to New York after college, but big city to big city. But tell me about how it was going to Chicago, being an 18-year-old kid and probably, completely new world.
I was a kid in the candy shop. It was amazing. If you go from a situation where everybody's in your business, and you're so much more self-conscious about what you do, to a place like Chicago or a big city where nobody really cares what you do, it kind of gives you the freedom to explore yourself, So when it came to dating, meeting people, making friends, having autonomy, especially at 18, it was the best thing. It was probably one of the best years of my life in self-discovery.
Awesome. And so the other video I seen is that you started off as a skinny little kid, right? I mean, what got you into fitness and wanting to have a great body? What inspired that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, fortunately, I was always an athlete, so I was always wanted to be active, and I was a swimmer, and I swam 1 year in school, but then I stopped because I had to choose between school, partying, and swimming. So at that point, after 1 year, I was going to swim for a career. I've been swimming all my life. I was like, you know what? I'm 18. I want to go live life. So I decided just to party and focus on school, right? Have the good balance there. And then what happened is I stopped being active, got a little bit overweight, and I was kind of skinny fat, wasn't happy. And I was studying, fitness anyway. I was studying anatomy and phys and biology. So it just so happened that I was already in the academics of it. So then I got into the gym as a way to stay active, fell in love with bodybuilding, and then the rest was history.
So you've been in Chicago ever since then, other than whenever you're trying to escape the cold weather. But I love some of your videos. So I'll tell you what I really loved. I loved the video about where you did it recently, where you're like, people ask me if I'm gay. Why does it matter? And I love that you put that out there. And I know it's more of a generational thing because, whenever I was your age, it was all about who are you and a label. And you're just who gives a fuck about what I am? It does not matter. And I'll tell you the other video that I love that you did. If you're a straight guy coming to a gay bar, they're not after you. They're not going to grab your ass and stuff. I love it that you threw that out there. I had so much respect for those videos and I think it's just amazing. What reaction did you get from doing those?
Yeah, for sure. Well, a little bit of context that got me into that. Well, I can get to the reaction as well. I mean, I was kind of surprised about the embrace it got, and people really reached out and enjoyed that from me. And I think part of the reason is just the normalization between straight and gay culture. And, it's been unfortunately, gay culture has been chastised. It's been demonized in a lot of places,
Hmm.
especially in the past. But over the past, 50 or so years, it's moving in the right direction. So I think
Yeah.
people really appreciated a straight perspective on something that was
Yeah.
a resonating truth in a lot of ways. And I think some background on that and how I came to that conclusion is, I stumbled into Boys Town when I was in college in my early 20s through a gay friend of mine. And that really opened my eyes to how the gay culture is and how welcoming they were. And I didn't, it was something that just made me realize that sexuality, like, who cares, right? At the end of the day, it's something that, you know, is not really a factor, right? In who you
Yeah, I mean,
are.
you're going home with who you're going home, and it doesn't matter. It's nobody's business, right? I mean, I wish the world was more like you in the way that you're thinking, though, because I think that's, I don't know. Just like I said, I have really crazy respect for that video that you did because I think it was so amazing that you just kind of threw that out there, and you're not answering the question like what I'm sure people all the time ask you, "Are you gay? Are you straight?" Can I? And you didn't answer, and I love it that you didn't answer.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So
uh,
yeah.
do people try to set you up all the time, whether it's with guys or girls? Like, are people always like, "Oh, I'm a matchmaker, and I want to try to get you. I want to set
Oh,
you up with my friend."
all the time, all the time. So for context too, I started working in Boys Town, like first at security and then as a bar back and then as a bartender. And then I worked in drag show bars. I even started performing in drag show bars. And through all of that, I've probably had thousands of people. It's been 10 years
Yeah,
approach me. And I already knew what they're going to say. People are like, can I ask you a question? I'd be like, yeah, I'm straight. They're like, oh yeah.
yeah,
Or even say that just like, yeah, are you gay? And I'm like, no,
yeah.
but why? What's up? And then they'd be like, well, here's my girlfriend or, XYZ. Or they would initially try to match me up and I wouldn't to like a guy and I wouldn't take offense to that. I'm like, hey, he's a good looking guy. He's a great guy, but that's not my preference. And then they would
Yeah,
direct me to one of their girlfriends. And I was like, hey, this is awesome. Why not?
yeah. So my other question is, what got you into wanting to help other people? And I mean, I'm assuming that you've seen all types of people out, especially when you were working in Boys Town. Gay guys are a little bit more critical of themselves and stuff, and like they're at circuit parties with their shirts off, or they're at a regular bar or whatever with their shirt off and stuff in the summers, and they're at the beach, and everybody's the gay people can be very judgy. I'm sure you know this from being 10 years working in gay bars and stuff. And and so is that kind of what like struck you with like, wow, my audience is gay men because they care about their bodies, they want to look good, they're vain. And so is that tell me your reasoning why, or did I just list them all?
Well, yeah, I mean that's obviously some of it, but for me, because I was so involved in the gay community already, like I just was very comfortable with them, and I think gay men they want to work with someone that can lead them and hold them accountable, but also
Mm,
understands the pressures that they go through and can be there for them in a lot of different ways, right? I think ultimately
yeah.
I got led to that just through the context of working in Boys Town, and I got so much from them, right? They were so generous with me. They were so kind to me. They, hooked me up with their girlfriends that
Yeah.
I felt that I was almost obligated. And I'm just an empathetic, kind person anyway, that I wanted to then give back as in whatever way that I could. And one thing that I knew was fitness, right? So that just naturally led me to coaching. And I just happened to be a great match with that because I was already had been working with them for years and years. And we just paired together and the rest was history.
And I love your other videos where you're kind of doing the Costco run or the Trader Joe's run. You're talking to people about what they should eat. Oh, the one video I looked at this morning, which I thought was brilliant. Your content is great. So first of all, I'm going to put your Instagram in the description of this podcast, and everybody should go and follow you and check it out because you have some really great content. And the one that really struck me today is like, how do you drink and maintain kind of your fitness and stuff? And how I think you started off saying how are these celebrities going out and drinking, but yet they have, great bodies and stuff still. So it's the holiday season right now when we're recording this. There's lots of drinking happening and stuff, and there's lots of things. So tell my audience like what your trick is for that, or your tip is for that.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's something to preference as well. Like in the gay community, like we like to party, right? We like to have fun. We
Yeah.
don't necessarily need
Yeah.
to drink tons, but we're very social, right? We don't A lot of gay couples don't have kids, so we rely on our friendships, our communities, right? And I think that's a really great thing. However, when it comes to fitness, that can be pretty difficult with the temptations that come around those community involvements, a lot of it surrounding alcohol and food and holidays and things like
Yeah.
that. So I think a really realistic approach to fitness is having some flexibility and a balanced structure that makes sense for each person in their life. And I think, that leads to, obviously you need a level of intention and accountability and leadership to guide someone through that process. And there has to be some work involved with that. But there also is a way that you can have a few drinks. You can work on your portions on the eating side with that and make it all work.
Mhm.
And I like to demonstrate that myself, like through my stories. So every morning
Yeah.
I'll make it a point to wake up and be like, guys, I fucked up, excuse my language. I overdrank,
Yeah.
I overate. This is what I'm going to do today. This is how I feel. So people can really see that live time, because you can be in amazing shape. You still have to go through all the disciplines. You still have to go through all the balancing. I
Yeah.
think people really like to see the real side of it, not just the perfection of fitness influencers being like, yeah, be accountable, go after it, work hard, be perfect. It's like, that's not real. That's really not real. And
Yeah.
the people that have a great physique, they don't do that all the time, right? Like, I don't do that all the time. So I think showing a real side that also does a double pronged approach, right? It shows that it is possible, but it also showed that it takes accountability and some work. And it's okay, because it should, right? And the other thing I wanted to preference that I forgot to mention is, I believe the other reason why I really enjoy working in the gay community is because they don't have as much of an issue prioritizing their body. And those are the type of people I love to
Mhm.
work with, because those are the ones that are going to be successful, right? And the reason is, unfortunately, in the gay culture, because men are very visual,
Yeah.
we are very attracted, right, to visuals. So that's a downside, because it's a bit vain and superficial, but it also is an upside, because if you want to increase your dating potential, it's within your control. You prioritize your fitness, you get your body in a great shape.
Mhm.
Guess what? You're going to do great on Grindr. You're going to do a lot better on Grindr,
Yeah.
and you're going to find love
Yeah.
more effectively, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's in your control by prioritizing that. If you're in the straight community, you get in amazing shape, but you have no charisma. Women don't care. They still
Exactly.
settle for the guy with the dad bod and with money. It's like,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
in the gay culture, let's take advantage of that, right? And then I like to show the real side of, hey, we can have fun too. We can go, we can drink, but
Yeah.
we can be intentional about our portions and still live our life and have fun.
I mean, that's why your channel resonated with me so much, because you are super genuine about things, and you're bringing up things that everybody thinks, and I think about like, oh, I'm going to start doing more things better for my body to get rid of this little tummy that I have right now, to lose this 15 or 20 pounds. And I'm always like putting it off. Oh, I'll wait till this. I'll wait till that. I'll wait till this. And I love it. Just you're genuine about what you're saying about things. And it's just, I think that's motivating in a lot of ways.
Good. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Um, do you get any sponsorships from any of the Costco or Trader Joe's or anyone? Because if not, you should.
Yeah, I was gonna say no, but I should. I really relate to it with the amount of
So
people who approach
should.
that way.
Like, they need I'm gonna tag Costco and Trader Joe's and some of the other companies that you talk about in there. They need to pick you up as a sponsor, seriously, because you're doing them a huge advertising. You're doing them justice, and they should at least send you something free or something, I don't know.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, clients that I work with, they take care of me, and they should, right? Because I hold them accountable, walk them through the process. And Costco, groceries, it's just a tool, because we need two things, right? We need to make it simple and effective, right? But we also need a level of accountability, consistency, and to do the work, right? And have someone lead you to do that work. So it's combining both those worlds, and that's really what leads to success. Whether Costco wants to sponsor me on that or not, I mean, yeah, it'd be great, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I think you should. I think Costco or Trader Joe should definitely sponsor you, Just, $10,000 a month that they should do when you're mentioning their name, and then.
Yeah, I've sent them at
Um
least that much business, if not more, maybe over the years.
Oh, of course, you definitely have. Yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, I think that and I think it would be a unique kind of package that you could kinda put together for them, where they could, I don't know. We can talk offline, and I'll be your manager and take 10% of what you make from Costco. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, appreciate that. And then I had a question
Uh,
for you. Have you really seen any other sort of straight men in this space, or is this very new to you? I guess I haven't really looked outside of myself.
so I've seen so there's been guys that are straight that are trying to do what you're doing that I've seen. They DM me and stuff also, but there's something about them that doesn't feel the same. Um, so it's just like again, your videos are genuine and just you're giving tips, the drinking tip, like you're relevant. Like what you're saying is very relevant. And you're
Mhm.
thinking about like what people are thinking. Like I'm going to a circuit party and I have 10 extra pounds. I'm not going to take my shirt off most likely if I'm at a circuit, like you're thinking of real world, real people, genuine stuff. And I think that's what resonated with me.
Yeah.
Where another guy, and some of these straight guys that will reach out and say, "Hey, do you want to lose, 15 pounds or whatever?" Um, they also seem like very like, "Yo, bro, I'm doing you a favor," almost like trying to like
Mhm.
butch it up and be super masculine. Even in the, I mean, I've talked to a couple of them, um, but it just seems it's almost like what you were talking about as when a straight guy goes into a gay bar, like they contacted me. I didn't contact them, and they're like thinking that yeah, they're a good-looking guy, but I've been in a relationship for 27 years. I have no interest in them. So,
Okay.
and so they don't have to like prove to me that they're straight. It's like, oh, I'm straight and I do this and stuff, and okay, good for you. Um,
So you don't feel they understand you as well, or what you're thinking, or the challenges that you really face as a gay man.
Yeah, they don't understand it, and I think they're too worried about, am I looking at them or something? And it's like, no, like we're having a conversation over Zoom. Like I'm, I'm not gonna. You're in another city. I'm not gonna leave my relationship for 27 years because you have a great body and a cute face. So yeah, no, it's not
Yeah,
how it works, and I'm not interested in you. So,
and I think that's
and
a good point. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I just feel that, after working with so many gay men and understanding that the challenges that they go through, and what they're thinking, right, at the end of the day, because, they'll scroll on Instagram and see all these jacked other gay men that are partying
yeah,
or on the beach or at
yeah,
circuit parties and
yeah,
doing all these fun things. And they don't understand, like, how's this guy so ripped and living the life that he is, right? But he's not seeing behind the scenes of what that guy's doing and what he's struggling with as well. And
yeah,
I feel like a lot of gay men have a lot of pressure on themselves from that, and they don't really, understand how they can create the sort of life that they want for themselves, and feel like they have to be
mhm,
some perfect bodybuilder to really reach that, and that's not really real. You know what I mean? It's like, it may seem like that's the disciplines you need to really have that body. And don't get me wrong, it's work, it's discipline, but it's the
yeah,
level of balance and making the right choices at the right time and having that awareness within yourself. So I think it's really understanding the gay man, that the challenges they have and what they're really looking for.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, they want to be at the circuit party, like in that harness, like jacked, and then improving their dating status, even if they want to have fun or they want to just have love for a companion. And I think
yep,
having that path to being in better shape and being more confident definitely leads to better results in that area. And I love seeing that. I've had a lot of men come into my program that were struggling, and then they're talking to me about their grinder matches by the end, which
yeah.
becomes a lot of fun for
Awesome.
me seeing that. Hmm.
Yeah, so I have a friend, who just was in a 10-year relationship. They got married. They're getting divorced like any day now. The paperwork will go through. He gained some weight. He lost some weight. He's still not where he wants to be. I'm giving him your details to contact you because I think you would be perfect for him. He lives in New York. He's a successful guy. He's on all the apps. He meets people, but he's not finding love. So it's all hookups and stuff. So I think you would be good for him. So you're going to get one client because he'll pay for it too. Like he's into it. He's going to Orange Theory, and he's working on it. I guess that sometimes he's drinking too much, and he's probably going out to nice dinners too much and stuff. So he's going to Orange Theory and burning so many calories, but he doesn't know like what to eat. So that's my next question for you. What does your program kind of contain? Like, what are you telling people? Are you coaching them and telling them what they need to eat, how many calories they need to start off with and end up with? And are you helping them set a goal? Tell me a little bit about what you're doing for them.
Yeah, so there's two main things that we need to work on, right? So there's obviously the strategy and simplifying things when it comes to the actual program. So that's just showing people exactly what to eat to make it convenient and enjoyable, but still effective, helping people with their portions so the pacing is correct, because that's really, really important in
Mhm.
terms of how much hunger you feel and how sustainable it is, but still seeing results. Then the whole
Yep.
other part of it is really helping somebody understand and take accountability for themselves, right? Because at the end of the day, it is going to be a level of work, right? And you have to really take responsibility for a lot of the choices that you're making. And if you don't necessarily do that, you don't get out of your own way, you can enter any sort of great program, but if you don't show up and do the work, you're not going to be successful. So we really have to
Yeah.
approach both those things. It's a mindset of accountability and responsibility for your choices. And then it's also a strategy of building awareness with you of like, hey, how do we make this easier and more simple for you and effective? You combine those two things and we crush it.
And is the gym a big part of it, or is it eating, or is it all of the above?
The biggest part is the first thing is really taking accountability and drawing that line in the sand of like, I'm going to make this change in my life. And then the next biggest part is the simplicity strategy, not overthinking it being practical and effective for your lifestyle and your preferences, right? And then in terms of objective practicality, it's going to be mostly on the nutrition side because that's going to control your body
Okay.
composition, right? And then obviously exercise and strength training is going to help build the muscle asset for you. But it's honestly really secondary, which is a good thing because the time commitment is really, you have a mouth, right? You don't need time to not eat, right? It actually saves you
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
right? So it's more just an excuse, and that's anything in life, right? It's like we make time for things, we don't have time, right? So, and the nice thing is, I always tell people like the busier you are, the better, because guess what? It's going to distract you from eating. So I think at the
Yeah.
end of the day, what most people have issues with, they just overeat, right? So it's those two things. It's having the right accountability and mindset change to really take account like responsibility for yourself and draw that line in the sand. And then it's the proper guidance to the structure of simplicity that matches the preference in your life, the changes that you need to make it simple, effective, and successful for yourself.
Yeah. Um, so I hate the gym. Like I don't love it. But I would do it if I had to. Um, but the eating part I can control, and I could get. I mean, if I was accountable to somebody, I could control it. So, and I'm skinny. Like my arms are skinny. I have no like definition at all, and I have a little like tummy right now, and I need to get rid of that. That's the main thing. Like I'm not looking to be a big. I'm not looking to be you, where I'm super, six pack shred. But I would love a flat stomach again. So if I contacted you, is that what we could work on? It's just getting rid of that little stomach and losing that 10, 15 pounds?
Yeah, but as soon as we did that, Zach, and you really saw the momentum with that,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you want to continue on to have an even better body then? Have
Yeah.
an even more, have a little bit more definition, really create that
Yeah. I mean, I
itself.
guess I would want a little more definition. I just don't need, yeah. I mean, I don't need a bodybuilder's body, but I would like a little more definition. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
my arms are so skinny. Like, I look like a 12-year-old kid sometimes because my arms are so skinny. So I would like to
No,
maybe, look like a 25-year-old kid instead of a 12-year-old kid.
well, you're right. At the end of the day, like my main goal for people is like I want you to like how you feel and like how you look. Right, those are the two main things. But I think people sell themselves short with their goals, and like, yeah, we're gonna obviously get those immediate goals, but once you really understand the process and you've
Mhm.
made those changes and you're starting to become that person where you're not making excuses for yourself anymore, but then you also have the guidance of simplicity and effectiveness for yourself, then the world's your oyster for your physique because you start to become it becomes a bit more enjoyable because we've got
Mhm.
that positive loop of you're getting results, right? And it's now that the logging of your food, doing a workout or something, it's not this arbitrary thing that you just know you have to do. It becomes something that, hey, this is giving me these benefits in my life, and I really love this change. How can I get more of that
Yeah.
change? So if your mind plugs into that, then it becomes a life of its own. It's like, okay, I've got the flat stomach. What can I get more now? And then that on top of the vanity and the confidence part, which is great, you're going to get all these energy and longevity and health and anti-aging benefits that come along with it. It's just so nice that they align together. you know.
Okay,
So
talk about the anti-aging. That's what I'm interested in that. So,
mhm,
all this, the way that you're kind of, I don't want to say prescribing people to eat, but giving them the direction to eat, is that kind
mhm.
of helping with anti-aging as well?
Oh, 100%, 100%. It's the most important thing. Exercise, nutrition, sleep. I mean, we all know this, but it's not till you
Yeah,
actually do it and experience it for yourself, and your brain really gets that evidence that you fully understand it, right? I mean, myself as an example, I'm about to turn 33. People think I'm 24, 25 all the time.
yeah. You do
It's
not
not.
look 33 at all.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I mean, yeah, I do have good genetics, but I've also been doing this since I was 20, and I've really prioritized it, right? And the issue is with like over consuming and being a caloric surplus chronically, it causes all this inflammation and damage to our DNA, to our skin. This visceral fat releases all these bad hormones, and this just wears your body
Yeah,
down. And we're all going to die, right? At some point, at least right now. And what exercise, nutrition, and sleep does, it puts the brakes on that significantly, right? So if we, instead of going to a med spa and getting Botox, I mean, you can still do that too. I'm down to do that as well, right? But
yeah.
you're going to do
I'm
them
not giving
once.
that up. So yeah,
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I'm like, I'm getting to that point. Like, I'm going to do that too as well. I mean, but let's get to the foundational thing of what really puts the brakes on aging, and that's the proper exercise, sleep, and nutrition. And you have to ask yourself, why am I not doing that for myself? Like, why am I not prioritizing this? This is my meat vehicle. I'm going to
yeah,
experience the rest of my life through. This should be that priority, and when you really take accountability for that, make it your priority, you understand how it seeps into everything else that you do, and it really changes your life. And in the gay culture, dating, love, confidence, when you're
yeah,
out with the community, with your friends and staff, that kind of life it creates for yourself. And it's not just for other people, it's for how you feel, which then radiates
yeah,
into how you act, behave, and believe and think about things within your life. So to
yeah.
me, it's the ultimate transformation of a beginning if you want to do anything really positive of a change in your life.
You sold me. I'm signing up with you. I'm
Well,
signing up. Yeah, we'll talk after this
when you want.
podcast, but I'm ready to do it. So, yeah, I mean, I there's a gym at the end of my block. It's only a gym where they do with a personal trainer, and I walk by it every day, and I see the people in there, and there's all types of ages and all types of people in there, and I think that's something I need to is I need a personal trainer that's going to make me go to the gym because I have an appointment and I have to be there because if not, I'm like, oh, I'm going to skip the gym today. I mean, that's I'm too tired. I worked too late today. I did 3 podcasts today. I always have an excuse about the gym.
Do you ever feel, because this is something I'll run into, do you ever feel like intimidated in the gym? Because I think some people getting back into it and they see all these, jacked other gay men potentially, and they feel very like vulnerable. Does that
When I
ever
was
happen?
going to Yeah, so when I was going to so there's an Equinox in Boston, and, every single person in there is beautiful. Like, I mean, it's like they all stepped out of a modeling agency and not and so it was across the street from where I worked, and so I would go in the morning, like, at 5:30 in the morning, and so I'd have to take a shower afterwards, and I was so embarrassed because it was six-pack, beautiful, perfect hair. I mean, it was just like they were all just so beautiful. So that was the only time I was really intimidated. This gym, I would not be intimidated at. And I don't think I also now don't really give a shit what people think in a way. So I think I'm just a different person than I was when I was going to that Equinox. Um, but yeah, I mean, I could go to the gym and I'm just what I get intimidated by is because I don't know how to use the machine the right way, or I don't know how to do the right weights, or I don't know how to do it. You know, the I don't know how to do things the right way.
Yeah.
So I would always default to the treadmill or the elliptical because that's or the stairmaster because that's what I knew how to do. But
Mhm.
I got a trainer. Um, she was good, but all she wanted to do is like she's like, "Oh, let's work out," and we worked out for like 15 minutes. And she goes, "Now let's go stretch," and we would stretch for like 45 minutes. I'm like, "I'm paying you $150 an hour to
For sure.
stretch me. Like I can stretch myself." So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's ultimately why like having the holistic strategies is normally more effective for people, and really
yeah,
understanding the true struggles that they're dealing with, not just in the gym, but everything that goes around it. And something I wanted to point out to you and to other men that might be feeling that similar way or
yeah,
just a bit insecure or vulnerable in the gym is what I would recommend is that you start with something that's manageable for you, that you enjoy, right? So just getting
Mhm.
active, doing stuff that you become like the dog chasing the ball. You don't even notice that you're working out, right? To help get you
Yeah.
started, to build some confidence, right? And then you can transfer that once you feel like you've gotten a little bit more confidence into the gym. Because I think having some sort of environment where there are like attractive men around you, and
Yeah.
especially if you're a gay man, is a good thing, because it's going to give you, it's going to light a fire under your ass, right? You're gonna be like, oh, there's my gym crush. Let's stay at the gym 30 more minutes and continue to crush out these sets. So it's definitely can be a good thing. I just think people need that initial help, bridging from feeling like a beginner to kind of knowing what they're doing and a bit of confidence and getting that, crutch under themselves to then get to that point, right? So it's really understanding where you are on your journey, and providing like a plan of structure that's something you actually enjoy, and then bridging you to that point where then, hey, those environments are actually motivating for me, and then I might meet a guy too. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have had many gym boyfriends that had no idea that we were together, but we were, at least in my head.
You're like, I'm gonna say hi to him today, and he walks by you in the
Well,
marathon. You're
I
like,
mean, like I said, I'm in a relationship, so I wasn't saying hi, but I would tell my husband, I'm like, "He's on my list, and if he comes to me, I'm definitely, like, moving out." So, like, I'm living with him because he's gonna love me and take care of me, and I'm not gonna have to work because I know he's super rich and he has a great family and all this,
well,
so
you know what the key line is for all you men out there at the gym. If you want to approach your gym crush, is ask him to spot you. It's simple
Oh,
as that. Just ask him to spot you. And you know how I know that is actually how I met one of my very first good gay friends. Is that's what he did with me, and that's actually how I got into the gay neighborhood, was through him, because this is when I was like 20 years old, just got into Chicago
yeah.
basically. And he asked me to spot him, and then we became really good friends. And we were friends for 6 months. And then he's like, "Hey, it's my birthday. By the way, it's in Boys Town. I'm gay. If you're not cool with that, you don't have to come." I didn't even know he was gay for 6 months. I had no
Yeah.
idea. I'm like, dude, that's totally fine. That's new for me, but sure, I'll show up. And I went.
Are you still friends with him?
Yeah, yeah, we still chat. He lives in Boston now, I believe, but yeah, we still
Uh,
chat occasionally.
that's amazing because, like, he kinda helped shape who you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, in a way,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
and then that's how I bridged into working into Boys Town, and then that really transitioned me into my mindset of like, sexuality. Who cares? And I think for me, working as a straight guy, and then people thinking I'm gay and realizing that it never negatively affected my life,
yeah,
that led to my mindset of like, you can be whoever you want to be. Like, you decide that. Like,
yeah,
who cares what people think? And I think also gay men really inspired me in a lot of ways, because
yeah,
of old culture really demonizing them, and them coming out and being gay anyway, regardless of that. That takes so much courage in a lot of ways. I seeing
yeah,
that made me realize, like, dude, you could be whoever you want to be, gay or straight, whatever, right? It's like that
yeah.
principle applies to so many other areas of your life. And I thought that was very, very powerful. And it led me to step out of my comfort zone in so many ways. I mean, maybe you can relate now, even doing this podcast and being vulnerable and sharing your thoughts and ideas, right? It's a little bit scary at first, but now look at you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, yeah, there's sometimes I'm like, "Oh, should I say that now?" I mean, I know what I can and can't say, but, um, yeah, I mean, it's I think everybody has to kinda, like, figure out who they are in some way and feel like, what how they feel comfortable, and like I said, your video where you just talked about, who you are and stuff, it just resonated with me so much where I'm just like, "This guy's awesome." Like, he's not saying what he is, and he just like but it doesn't matter, and he doesn't care if somebody's gay or straight or bi or whatever, and I don't know, it just, like, made me really, like, stop and think about, and I know your generation, it's just like nobody really cares as much, but you're talking to people that are from all these generations on your Instagram. So you
Yeah.
don't have just the people that are your age or younger who don't care so much about labels and sexuality, but you're talking to the 40 and 50s, maybe even 60-year-old guys that are looking to do something with their body and who went through that phase or lived their lives where it was all about what are you? Are you gay? Are you straight? Are
Yeah.
you like are you butch? Are you a twink? Like whatever. So like all that stuff is all labeling,
Yeah.
and it was just
Uh,
like I said. I think it was really great that you put those types of videos out, and it's keep doing that.
well, yeah, I appreciate that. Like I said, it was inspiring for me, and I think a lot of guys out there struggle with that identity within themselves. And
Yeah.
especially if they have families that are, have religions that are not supportive of that, or
Yeah.
they're in cities or towns that aren't supportive of that. I feel being in those kind of environments, it can be very, very difficult. Or having grown up in that environment creates this internal conflict that's,
Yeah.
I can't imagine the level of like stress that can create someone. And even some gay men I know now that I'm friends with now, like still struggle with that because, and they're older, because the culture back then wasn't as accepting
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. So I think there's a lot to be said about that. And I also would recommend that, like, if you're in an environment like that, move.
Yeah.
Go somewhere
Exactly.
where you're more comfortable, because the gay culture in Chicago, where I experienced it, was awesome. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. Like, it was, even as I'm not even gay, and I love it there. It's so much fun, and for a new gay man to go there,
Yeah.
I actually had a client that just joined this Monday, and he's moving to Chicago from, I think, Indiana. And I was telling him, dude, if we get you in shape, if you arrive in Chicago by May, you're gonna
Yeah.
have so much fun in that market.
Yeah.
So
You're helping everybody virtually as well, right? They don't have to be a local client for you to help them. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah, that's correct. Like, we meet through Zoom like this. I have them all structured in the program, and we kind of go through all those areas together. So we really figure out what's holding you back.
And how often are you meeting? Like once a week or once every 2 weeks? Like what's the cadence for it?
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll meet once a week on Zoom. We'll go over all the areas that you're winning in, and we'll celebrate that progress. And then if there's anything that you're finding challenging, we'll break it down and really figure out what that is. And then we solve it.
Okay.
We go through in context what we've done that past week. And then we set the objectives for the upcoming week. That way you're learning as well as you're building those tool sets, we're building those habits, and we're building that mindset to really take responsibility and keep the thing simple and effective to really get to where you want to go. And then alongside that will be, we have a Slack community as well as like a private chat structure where you can ask us
Yeah.
questions all the time. My brother helps out as well. And we run community events like group calls and stuff like that, so guys can meet each other and have that camaraderie. So it's really, really important in terms of being around, like-minded people and to succeed.
So I ask a lot of my guests this question, and I want to ask you: do you ever stop sometimes and kind of step back and reflect on like how many people that you've helped and made happy and changed their life? Like you're doing that. This is awesome work that you're doing, and like, do you ever like give yourself like a pat on the back and sometimes be like, wow, like I changed this person's life because I got them healthier and in shape. Maybe they met the love of their life. Or I gave them more confidence, and that confidence could have got them a better job because they walked into an interview more confident. Like, do you ever give yourself credit for all those great things you're doing?
Yeah, sometimes I get so involved in the inputs that I forget, but then clients will come and say things to me that just blow my mind, how it's influenced or changed their lives.
Yeah.
And that gives me life, right? It's very life giving because you're truly saving
Yeah.
people's lives in a lot of ways. You're doing the preventative work before they get to the doctor to treat the disease, right? Um,
Yeah.
and also, like I said, seeing men now finding love and having more fun on
Yeah.
Grindr or whatever it may be, and being a part of that journey is very fulfilling for me. So it gives me that life to then keep me motivated to do all of the focus work and stressful work to keep this whole thing going.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very grateful and blessed that I found a role in my life that gives me that purpose and enjoyment. So
Yeah.
yeah, just got to go to the Wins channel, and my clients remind me, and I love just being part of the journey and changing their lives, saving their lives. It's a really grateful thing for me. It gives me that life.
Good. I'm glad, and you should do that often. Like, you should go back and reflect this like with yourself because I think it's awesome that you're doing this, and I can tell you genuinely care about people and you want to help make their lives better. So it's a you have a good vibe and good energy about you, and I think that's also another reason why you're successful with this. So.
Oh, thanks, Zach.
Well, Luke, thank you so much for being on. You're amazing. Again, I'm signing up with you. I will tell everybody your Instagram, but I'll also put it in the description of this podcast.
Yeah, it's just my first and last name with the underscore. So it's Luke,
Okay.
Luke, and then my last name, Holbrook, HOLB as in boy, ROOK, and then underscore. Be happy to chat with anyone that's going through any of these struggles or resonating.
Yeah. So as you can tell, Luke is knows his shit. He knows what he's doing. He cares. And if you're looking to get a little bit better in your life and make some changes, I mean, well, you had one guy that I think did he lose 50 pounds or something, and you showed a before and after picture of him. I was like, wow, good for him. Like, I mean, he looked fantastic.
Oh yeah, we've had quite a few incredible transformations. We had Tom that lost over 100 pounds in 1.5 years. We had Steven, he lost 70 pounds in 9 months. I think we had Ryan, who actually lost 60 pounds in 4 months, which was crazy. So yeah, I mean, we can go on and on and on,
Wow.
and it's really cool to see.
That's amazing. Well, Luke, you're an amazing person. You are were a great guest, and thanks for being on. And
Mhm.
everyone, follow Luke and Costco, Trader Joe's. Luke is here. He needs a deal. So
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. You're awesome. You have a great podcast as well. Wish you the best of luck with everything. Okay.
thank you so much, Luke, and thanks everybody for listening. If you're not following the podcast, be sure to subscribe to it and leave a comment and tell us what you thought about the interview with Luke. So thanks again for being on, Luke.
Yep, my pleasure.